A quick announcement, guys. So we released a movie trailer, and this is the official trailer. We had put out a teaser trailer before, but this is a full 3 minutes. It gives you a kind of little sketch of the storyline of the movie, and it's really powerful. If you haven't seen it, by the way, you can go to my Rumble channel and watch it there, or just go to the movie website, which is 2000mules.com. And you can also start, I would get early tickets for next week. This movie is out next week. Next week is our premiere week. And so we have 300 theaters playing it May 2nd and May 4th, 7 p.m. showing. We've also got an exciting virtual premiere, which you can sign up for. You essentially kind of gain access through a kind of Zoom call. And Debbie's going to sing. We're going to play the movie. There's a Q&A afterward. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would recommend highly you consider the virtual premiere. It's out of a fabulous studio. We'll be live in a studio in Las Vegas. And then the movie is going to be available widespread for digital download. You can get it any which way, and we'll show you the different platforms it's going to be on. Mainly Salem Now, salemnow.com, and the Rumble-owned platform called Locals. You can also order DVDs, pre-order them now. And you can buy them either individually or a bunch of them to share. This is the movie you've been waiting for. Now, the Democrats are.
Happy birthday, honey.
Hey, I'm getting a happy birthday yell from Debbie. A shout out, and thank you, honey. I appreciate it.
So we can fit into our outfits.
Oh yeah, we were going to go to this Indian restaurant today, and I'm doing media all day. So Debbie's like, "Oh, it looks like we have to cancel." So we're actually going to have someone pick up the food for us and bring it to our home, and it's going to be Indian Food Day at the D'Souza household. And I'm looking forward to it, let's just say. All right. The Democrats are apparently, it's dawning on them how bad their situation is. And it's dawning on them that, they put this complete loser in the White House. I think put is here the correct word. And they're now realizing that he's like a millstone. He's dragging them down to the bottom of the ocean. And there's a New York Times article, which is literally titled, "It's Time to Head for the Lifeboats." Democrats at one point were talking about, we're going to try to hold the House. We're going to try to hold the Senate. They've pretty much, as it turns out, given up on the House. Their margin right now is really narrow, just a few seats. The House is basically gone. The Senate, there are a few Democrats who are like, we'll try to hold the Senate, but it's increasingly looking like even that's going to be really hard for them to do. Quote, "It's going to be a terrible cycle for Democrats." This is Doug Sosnick, a former advisor to Clinton. There's an Obama advisor who says pretty much the same thing. And apparently Democrats now at the local level are running away from Biden. In fact, there's a little funny detail here in the article. Gretchen Whitmer, quote, "quietly removed the president's name from news releases about federally funded infrastructure projects." So when people realize this is Biden, they react so negatively that Whitmer's like, let's white out the guy's name. Like in the old days where you get the old whiteout and just white him out. Now, of course, some Democrats are saying, well, it's not all that surprising. Usually the party in power loses seats in the midterm election. Well, there is such a thing as sustaining losses, and there is such a thing as a wipeout. And I think the real question is, what is November going to bring, one or the other? Are the Democrats going to take severe losses, or are they going to be absolutely decimated? I'm obviously hoping for the latter. And this guy, as I say, this Obama advisor named Kessler, says if you are in a district that is Biden plus 12 or less, you need to run like you're losing, which kind of shows you how bad the situation is for the Democrats at this point. By the way, I think that these guys were counting on rigging the system. And by rigging the system here, I mean things like shutting down debate, controlling discussion on social media platforms, so that their own propaganda organs, namely the New York Times, NPR, CBS News, would control the messaging. So they're trying to have a captive population that is indoctrinated. And in this context, it's worth mentioning, and I'll talk about it again further down the podcast, Elon Musk's stunning decision to push ahead with this purchase of Twitter. And it looks like after putting up some brave, some bravado, we're not going to let Elon Musk come into the building. It looks like the Twitter shareholders were like, oh, really? Well, he's making a very nice offer that would put a lot of money in our pockets, and you better entertain it. And finally, the Twitter board, basically made up of these nerdy, PhDs who are like, hey, we don't really care about money. We just like to control people. These guys are finally like, okay, we better meet with Elon Musk. And I see today, at least early reports, that this looks like it might be announced today that Elon Musk is buying Twitter. And that's huge. It's huge because it goes in the other direction from the censorship regimes at YouTube and Facebook. By the way, these regimes are so bad that I haven't even bothered to put up my trailer on either Facebook or YouTube because the trailer literally violates their policies. You can't even talk about the subject. So it's wonderful news that Elon Musk is moving into Twitter. I'll talk either later today or in subsequent podcasts about the 3 things that he needs to do to secure his hold on Twitter to assure the return of free speech in America. And more free speech means more bad news for the Democrats.